Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srishti and Smriti, for doing nice kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna to everyone. So we welcome you all for the reading session of Bhagavad Gita again today. And we will continue our journey from
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So we will start from the yesterday where we left, the second chapter again. We'll continue. So yesterday we saw that Arjuna had lost his identity and Krishna was trying to give him his identity. And so once Arjuna said that I am not able to fight, Krishna said, he did not say anything. And then once he said that he gave all the reason, indecisiveness for doing the fight, then Krishna started talking about ki you are talking like a very learned person, but at the same time you are like a looks like you are a fool because you are lamenting for the body. So he said the intelligent person does not lament for the living or the dead both. So why we don't lament for the living or the dead? What is the difference between the living and dead? What is so important in the living entity? And what gives us the consciousness? So all these things we'll see in the second chapter from text number 11 to 30, 20 shlokas, Krishna talks about the soul. So we will start from here today again, understanding about the soul.
Mataji, can you make it slideshow?
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm just trying to come to my shloka where we are doing. Sorry. Yeah. Why it is not going down now? So, yeah. So yeah. So this section we are going to start. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jai Pataka Swaminiti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayini Gaura Katha Dhamraya Nagar Gram Tare. So the first thing I would like to tell you all that these classes are interactive sessions. Anything you have and we have reason for everything what we are doing. There is an answer for everything what we are doing here. Why we are chanting the prayers, why we are doing this kirtan, why we are reading Bhagavad Gita, what is the meaning of all the shlokas. As much as I have understood, I will try to explain you. And whatever I do not know, you can ask questions. Even if I am not aware, if I have not read about it, if I don't know, I will make sure that I will get to know about it from the senior devotees and others and give you the answer. So don't hesitate in asking questions. Anything you want to ask, please ask, because you should not be unaware of the things. What happens sometimes we start doing things, but we do not know why we are doing, what is the meaning of it, why we should do it. And we continue. So till the time we do not know the meaning, the conviction never comes why we are doing it. So we will do it because now everybody is doing it. I am also doing it. But then somebody will stop. I will also stop. Or somebody will tell me in my office why you are doing this. Or somebody will tell me in my family, you don't do this. Then I will stop because I myself am not completely convinced. So the whole point of this sessions are that these are not the session you see on the TV that one person is speaking and others are all quietly hearing. You are free to ask questions. And wherever there is a doubt, stop me in between, message me, write on the chat box. After the class, you ask the question. The best is you write on the chat box. I would see the proper time. Sometimes it happens in between, there is a flow going, and in between you ask something, and if it is not related to the subject we are discussing at that time, so it breaks the flow. So you can write to the admin. Here also the host, the co-host, this is my question, or you can write in the chat box, or after the class, every time we have this question answer session, if you have any doubt or question, you ask. So best is that during the class, if you have any question, write it there in your pen and paper, and then at the end of the class you ask. Plus, don't hesitate in asking. Okay, and if you are all not asking, we will also ask the question now. So we are also trying to have a small quiz every day in the Google form, and whenever we have classes, so whatever we are doing in the class, we will ask question based on those into the Google sheet. It will take 5-7 minutes to do it, and that will show that whatever we are learning in the class is understood properly. Prabhupada has given this Bhagavad Gita to us, and he said it's like you have to study. Actually, in ISKCON, we have the courses on Bhagavad Gita. We do the degree on Bhagavad Gita and other scripture, Bhagavatam and all. And where we have a classroom atmosphere where the teachers are there, they teach us, we have like group discussions, and we understand how to apply these things in our life. So it's a proper elaborated program. Bhagavad Gita is a textbook for us, so we should know in and out of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, for many people, Bhagavad Gita is just like a religious book. You keep it on the shelf, do the agarbatti, dhubatti, and worship the scripture. That is also nice. But it is better a use of the scripture is when we open, read, understand. Then it will give us a new meaning. And we will understand how do we apply and how our life changes by reading these books. So here we will be, that's the reason we are doing very detailed studies here, so that we understand and we try to practice it, because the change is going to happen only when we practice the principle of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So this is a very important topic. That's the reason I wanted you all to understand. So please, I don't know what all you are doing because everybody's camera is off. Some people might be very attentively hearing here, and some people might be doing something. So plus try to be attentive in hearing so that you understand properly. And if you have any doubt, please ask. So this section of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, is called the Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means, many times you would have heard the term Sankhya. Sankhya means analysis of body and soul, matter and the spirit. The detailed study of or analysis of matter and spirit is called the Sankhya. So here the body is made up of matter, earth, water, fire, air, ether. It's called matter. And the soul, the constitutional position of the soul or the nature of the soul is eternal. So we will see all this thing. So soul is, there are two things, body and soul. Yesterday we read, and we are, as an identity, we are the soul. Body is a dress given to us. So sometime when you go in the market and you want to buy something, and you go to the supermarket, and there are many dresses, variety of dresses are there, and in those dresses also there are different level of the dress, right? The same thing you might get into maybe 500 rupees, and same thing you may get in a very big shop and very high quality thing in 500 rupees and 5,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, because according to my level of capacity, how much I can spend on that, I purchase things for myself, right? Anything. I can make a house to live in for 5 lakh rupees. I can make 50 lakh rupees. I can make 5 crore rupees. I can put everything very modern house. I can just have a small house. So house will solve the purpose, but according to my level of like how much I have the money, accordingly I make the house to my comfort. So similarly, soul is an entity, and soul gets a body. Yesterday I told you all that soul gets the body when and it comes through the semen of father, enter into the womb of mother, and like sperms, through a sperm, there are many sperm get attracted to an egg, but one sperm gets like united. All other sperms are like, they get wasted. So those one sperm who is getting united with the egg, it is the soul enters into that, and that soul will be like, then the body, the formation of the body will happen. So that soul, according to the, like I said, how much money we have, accordingly we get the I have a purchase power for myself. Similarly, how much ever a good karma or bad karma I have in my account, accordingly I get the body. So if I have done a good karma, then I get a human body. In human body also, if I have done a very good karma, I get birth in a very aristocratic family, and I have been given all the, my body is very nice and beautiful, I am very educated. All these things the result of our good karma. So in human body also, these are the good karma. Sometimes we have done some bad activities, and the bad karmas are there. So I have a lot of suffering. Some people are from the very childhood, they have some problems in their physical, or they are not very intelligent, or some kind of which we in terms say, tell that this is a prarabdha, your karma. So according to our karma, the soul gets a desired body. So all these things we will study more and more detail. I just gave you some small brief. So this shloka, yesterday we did, when Krishna said, while speaking like a learned word, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. So what was here not worthy of grief? And what was Arjun afraid of? Arjun was not seeing Bhishma Pitama or Dronacharya or his family member as a soul. Arjun was seeing them all as a person, and he was attached to their body. Right? Because my body is there, I'm an uncle or aunt or whatever. The body gives me a kind of identity. So Arjuna definitely was not attached to the soul, he was attached to the body. So here Krishna says, whatever you are mourning for, what is not worthy of grief. So it means destruction of the body is not so much of grief. Why is lament neither for the living nor for the dead? So a person who is in knowledge does not lament for these things. Why we should not lament? I have a family, I have my husband, I have my children, I have my father, I have my mother, and I am attached to them. Why should I not be having grief if they depart from me? We will see further. So here Krishna talks about the all individual exist eternally. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadhipaha na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayamatah param. So this is a sequential study. Bhagavad Gita is such a book, it's a very sequential because it's a question answer. And also it is a very individual study. You can take out any shloka from there and it will make some sense to you. So both the ways we can study the Bhagavad Gita. So here Krishna is saying what you are worrying about is not worthy of grief. Why? Because there was no time when I was not there, these people were not there, or you were not there. And not that in future people will not be there. So always they were there. Maybe they were not as your family, they were there somewhere else. But never, there was no time when I, Paramatma, did not exist, nor you, Jivatma, nor all these things, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So we are always there and we will always be there. So again, we have to understand what is always there and what will be always there. Body is not going to be always there. Body comes with the expiry date. Like nowadays, we buy everything in the market, supermarket, and it comes with the expiry date. You buy here and you use within this time. After that, that product is not for use. So this, now we are seeing, but this body, when Krishna sends us, this gives us the body, he gives with the expiry date. Of course, we do not know what is my expiry date, but it is there. So body is temporary. But here Krishna talks about, I was always there, you were always there, and all the of us are going to be in future also. So how we are going to be there? As a soul. Because soul is eternal, body is temporary. Two things we have to understand in terms of Bhagavad Gita about the body and the soul. What is soul? What is body? So we'll see more detail about body and soul also. So yesterday we saw this car and driver, how our body is like a car and the soul is like a driver, and the body is useful only when the driver soul is there. If the soul leaves the body, body is of no use. Sometime you would have heard that there is if some person dies in the family, we say कि ये person has gone. This is a very general term, ना? That person has gone. ये हिंदी में हम लोग बोलते हैं ये आदमी चला गया. तो कौन चला गया? The person whom you knew is still lying in front of you, right? Not that he has walked and went somewhere. He is still lying there. And what has left the body, you had never seen them. Have you ever seen the soul? We know everybody as a person. We have not seen the soul. So what has left the body is never seen. What is there as a body is already there. So why we say that that person has gone? So something is there in us which leaves the body, and that makes the body dead. So the quality of the soul is that soul gives the consciousness to the body. Without soul, there is no consciousness. Chetana is not there. Consciousness is not there in the body. So if sometime we think that I love this person, but actually we do not know. We love the soul only. We do not love the body. Because that body is still there. But now we have no connection and relation with that body. We want to burn it, we want to throw it, or we want to get rid of that body as soon as possible. Sometimes it is so much so that people are scared to have the dead body in their house. So actually, what we were loving for this person, we think that we were loving, we were very attached to the body of the person, but actually in reality, we had a relationship with the soul only. So this is how. So who am I? Yesterday I told that this is my hair, this is my eye, this is my ear. So where is you? Where are you in this? So I do not know where are you. So I am everywhere. No, I am not everywhere. I am a soul, and these are all part of my body. So otherwise, after the soul leaves, the worth of a human body is 110 rupees. Maybe now this is the old data. Maybe now it has become 200 rupees. Because cost has increased of everything. So calcium, phosphorus, and water content price has increased now with the this thing. So maybe 200 rupees. So how is the myself? Composition of myself is what is there, what we are actually. So there is a gross body, there is a subtle body which is made of mind, intelligence, ego, and there is a soul. So soul and subtle bodies are together. Soul is Satchidananda, and this carries the subtle body. When a person dies, gross body remains here. The subtle body, which is made of mind, intelligence, and ego, you can't see that. Mind, intelligence, ego, we cannot see. So that with the soul carries this subtle body. We will talk about someday other day about the journey of the soul from here to the hellish planet or heavenly planet or Vaikuntha sometime in another class. The soul is located in the region of the heart along with the Paramatma. The size of the soul is 1/10,000 part of the tip of the air. Yesterday, somebody asked the question that how come body is temporary, but how the soul is, which is eternal, is there in the body. The soul is the one which gets the body, which is temporary. Like I am a person living, but I buy dresses for myself, which is dead matter, right? I am a living entity, but I buy dresses for me. So sometime I wear morning dress, office dress, night dress, marriage party ja raha hai, then we have some different kind of dress. So we wear different kind of dress. Similarly, the soul has a different types of body. So how, as I told you before, how I purchase the dress according to my capacity, how much I can spend on that. Similarly, how does the soul get a body, particular body? According to her karma and the consciousness. If my karmas are good, I get a better body. If my karmas are not good, I get inferior body, and whatever we desired. So we saw this also yesterday, which should be said, body or soul. So definitely the soul, because soul we have not seen, but it's an important part. So there should be, so that's the reason he said there should not be lamentation. So Krishna said, since the body is temporary, soul is eternal, and you are worried about the body, so you should not be worried about the body, because body is anyway temporary. The gross body, ego, mind, intelligence, and soul. This is what is. The gross body, since it is inevitable, death. Subtle body, since it is indestructible, then the gross body changes. So gross body, the changes are inevitable. At any point of the time it will happen. Subtle body mein there is no change. Soul, since it is eternal. Soul is eternal. So lesson, what we learn here, first set your identity correctly, because that decided how we think, how we desire, how we act, and how we experience in the world. So I will tell you one story here. So there was a person who was mentally disturbed. He was put in a what you call mental asylum. And mental asylum people, generally those who have some kind of difficulty in their thinking, or some brain problem is there, so they are kept there. So this person, all of them are like same over there, and anybody like those who are there kept there, they are all same. So this one person started one day he just brought a table, he stood on that table, and he took a piece of something, holded it as a mic, and he called everybody, all of you come here, I am the Prime Minister of India, and today is 15th August, and I am going to host the flag. And everybody said, wow, very nice, very nice, cheering up. So neither he was a Prime Minister, neither it was a 15th August. He was thinking, because his mind was not working, he was thinking, I am a Prime Minister, today is the 15th August, and I am the one who is going to host the flag. So what was the problem here? Loss of identity. Why he was not having his real identity? That was his problem. That was a mental issue, that he lost his identity. He was not knowing who he is. So our problem is also that we have lost our identity. All of us identify ourselves with the body only and give importance to the things related to the body. We do not know that our real identity is I'm a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Because Krishna is eternal, I am eternal. Material world is temporary, my body is temporary. So I don't belong to this place. I belong to the place where everything is eternal. That is the reason all of us are looking for eternity in this life. We get very upset if something is snatched from us, because we want everything permanent. Why we want everything permanent? It's very difficult to accept the temporary things. Anything. If in a small child, if you give something and take away, he gets very upset. Even worse, if after some time my people die or something happens, then we don't, because we want everything to be eternal. Whatever we possess, we want it to be permanent with us, because this is the nature of a soul. Because soul is made with the matter in the sense that the constitutional position of the soul is Satchit Anand. The soul is eternal, kept in a place which is temporary for the time being. The soul is very uncomfortable because it doesn't belong to here. So that is the reason soul is searching. So soul want to be happy. It's the nature of the soul to be happy. Though we are trying to search the happiness. I go sometime club, party, music, dance, meeting, eating, whatever we are doing, all of these things to make us happy. And we become happy for some time, then again we become sad. Oh, next time again I want. Again and again I want something new. We get bored because I tried this and I knew that this is not giving me permanent happiness. Okay, let me try something else. Okay, I'll try something else. Then I'll try something else. That is what is the journey going on for us. Because soul is looking for a permanent happiness, which is not available in this material world. So if we have set our identity correctly, everything will fall right. We will know how to become happy. We will know how to overcome our problems of the life. We know how to deal with this. When the identity is wrong, everything is wrong in our life. So, even though we have studied, we are earning money, we have everything, but the happiness is not there. So we have to think and set, what is there wrong in my life? Why I am not becoming happy, even though I'm trying so hard? And then when we desire this, think this, that state is called Brahma Jigyasa. And then we try to understand why, then we get all these answers through our scriptures. So this is again the continuation of the sloka 12, 13. So here Krishna says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapte dhiras tatra namohyati. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. The embodied soul. Embodied means in the body there is a soul which is embodied us. Continuously passes in this body. How? From boyhood to youth to old age. As we are progressing, our our body is progressing. We'll see this example here somewhere. Yes. So a child is born, and then he becomes little bit grown up, more grown up, more grown up, more grown up. Like this, we become adult. So we reproduce. Then slowly, slowly we start dwindling, deteriorating, and then die. So these are the 6 changes happening in the body. Anybody who gets birth till the person he dies. So my body is changing continuously. I was a small baby, then I became big, then I reproduced, then I dwindled. But the soul is same. So my body is changing, but the same soul is continuously there with this body. Okay, there is no change in the soul. Similarly, Krishna says, I'll go back here again. Similarly, at the time of death, soul passes from one body to another. First soul was passing in this body. I became from childhood to till the time I grew, I became old, I died. The soul was passing in this body. At the time of death, it changed from one body to another. The soul similarly passes into another body at death. And a sober person is not bewildered by such change, because already soul is moving in this body from childhood to the death. So similarly, the same, at the time of death, from this body, soul leaves, I go and take birth somewhere else. I go and get another body. The soul transformation. This is called transformation, transmigration of the soul. Soul transmigrate from one body to another body. So there is nobody is dying. People are dying to get rebirth. According to my karma, according to my desire, I get another body. Soul gets another body. So he says, Dhiras tatra namohyati. Dhiras means the person who is sober. Dhira, one who is not disturbed by this change. So first Krishna started with, you are talking you are trying to mourn for the thing which is not even worth of grief. Then second says, there was no time when I was not there, you were not there, and these kings were not there, we were all there. So that time he spoke about the soul, that as a soul we were all always there. And now he's talking about the body, that body will change. The soul is not changing. So similarly, at the time of death, it goes from one body to another body. And that change is natural. You cannot avoid. So there is a very beautiful verse after this we'll read. So who is the Dhira? Dhira is a sober person who has a perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul, and nature of both material and spiritual. So who is the person Dhira? Sober. The one who knows what is soul, what is super soul, what is body, what is material, what is spiritual. One may rejoice the change of the body as one gets a new body with rejuvenated energy. So that is the reason when somebody dies in the family, we read Bhagavad Gita to give them the assurance that he may not be there with you now, but he is somewhere. Somewhere that person is there. He will again take birth somewhere. He's there somewhere. And right now he was in old body. And now he will get a new and fresh body. So in this old body, we have so many problems. Generally, people die at the old age. Nowadays, that data is also getting changed. We have no age is not a restriction about it, but in general, so ailment body, we have a lot of diseases, we have a lot of problems in our life. So my soul, say, like it changes from one to another. I'm not going to go further because each thing is there in the shloka. So we'll read the shloka and you'll have more detail. Okay. So Arjuna says, no, I still am attached. Or you're talking about the soul and all. I have not seen my soul of my family member, but I was attached with the body only. I like Bhishma Pitama as my grandfather only. I like Dronacharya as my teacher only. I see them all as my, like as a person. I don't see soul and all. You are giving me a big knowledge about the soul. So I am still worried. I am still anxious. I'm still having this grief about their killing because they will not be there with me. They may be somewhere, but they will not be they will not be with me. This is what we also think. It's okay. You are talking about the big philosophy, but my father has gone. I will not see him anymore now. I am sad about it. You are telling he is somewhere. So what? I don't see him. This is what we also say. So what Krishna says, tolerate the duality. Matra spartastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agama paya nivnutyas tam stitikshasva bharata. He says, tolerate this duality. What is that duality he's talking about? Happiness and distress. In the life, sometime you are happy, sometime you are having some distress. So here, what Krishna is comparing with it, he says, matra sparshas tu kaunteya. Though anything you are experiencing through your senses by touch, sparsha means senses. It is like a sitoshna dukha dukh, sito ushna, shita and ushna. Sita means winter, ushna means summer. So your sukha and dukha, what you are experiencing in your life is like winter and summer season. Shita and Ushna. So sometimes we are having happiness in our life. Sometimes we are having distress in our life. So Krishna is comparing, these are like a Shita and Ushna. Sometimes winter, sometimes summer. And how he will say? Agama paino nityas. And anityas, sorry. So his coming and going is anityas. Anityas means non-permanent. So neither Shita is permanent nor the Ushna is permanent, right? We know the seasons change, right? Sometime it is winter. After some time, it will become like it will come as a spring, then summer, then rainy season. Every season will be there for some time. Now, it's not that we are having one season throughout. Actually, those who have one season throughout also, that is like some places are there. Those are again, the places are again into the law of karma. Those who have done really sinful act, they get into the place where same kind of weather is there all the time. So this is changing. Tams titikshasva bharata. Titikshasva matlab you tolerate it. So what happens when the winter comes? What do? You keep shouting, oh my God, too much winter, too much winter, too much winter. What do I do? Or the summer comes, we keep shouting, no, too much summer, too much. There are the one kind of people are like that also. But the other kind of people, like, they prepare themselves. They prepare. Winter is coming. I am preparing myself. I am getting proper woolen cloth. I am having according how much winter we are going to have. We will have some fire. We will have some ceiling in the house so that no air comes. We prepare ourselves. And we also know that this is temporary. It is there for some time. It will go. So such a beautiful example Krishna has given here. Your happiness and distress is also like this. It is temporary. So you learn to tolerate it. Because you can't avoid it. We cannot change the season. We cannot avoid the happiness and distress which is coming in our life. What we need to do, we should learn to tolerate it. So this is what Krishna says. O son of Kunti, senses experiencing the sense object produce sensation of cold and heat, winter and summer, or happiness and distress. Their appearance and disappearance are non-permanent. One must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. If we learn to tolerate then actually we are not disturbed. Since we do not know how to tolerate, how to deal with it, that is the reason we are disturbed. So when the happiness comes, so there was a story, once there was a king, and he made an announcement that anybody who will give me a thing which will make me sad when I'm happy and make me happy when I'm sad, so I will give him so much reward. So this news went everywhere. People were thinking how to make, when you are happy, how to make you sad, and when you're sad, how to make you happy. So people were doing so many things, and king was not getting any answer. So that time there was then one Brahmana came into that country, and then he said, what is happening? He said, this is the announcement of the king, that we have to give him something which is making him sad when he's happy and making him happy when he's sad. So we are not knowing what to give him. So he said, okay, I'll take me there. And he went to a jeweler shop at first, and then he made a ring, nice ring, beautiful ring. And he engraved in that ring that this will soon pass away. And then he took in a very beautiful box, he kept the ring, and he went to see the king. And then everybody said, who is this person? He said, this person was a passerby, and he has come with some solution of your problem. So he gifted that ring to the king, and he said, open and see. And then said, you wear this ring. And in that ring, it has written, it will soon pass away. So when you are happy, then you become sad that it will soon pass away. I have very less time to be happy. And when you're sad, then you become happy that it will soon pass away. So what we have to learn from here, when we are happy, we have to hold that happiness, share that happiness with the people, because that is also not going to stay longer. And when we are sad, also we should be having this, that it is temporary, it is for some time, and it will pass on. So Krishna teaches Arjuna that you learn to tolerate. Lesson: one has to execute his duty despite climatic inconvenience. Similarly, Kshatriya has to fight dutifully even if it is with some friend or relative. Prabhupada also writes in the purport that if you have some duty you have to perform, you should do it. Sometimes Prabhupada gives the example over there that it's very, India mein when the summer is very hot on the peak, it's very, very hot and humid, but a woman will still go in the kitchen and cook. Or sometime winter is so very severe, and then still people, those who have got devotees of the Lord, they will get up in the morning, take bath and do Mangala Aarti. So the changes will not affect your duty. So this is what he said, ki one has to execute his duty. We should not be seeing some inconvenience and leave the duty. So since he was a Kshatriya, he had to fight. Also, Prabhupada gives the example sometime that not that, because if you are playing a game and you know that your friend is there in the other team and is a very close friend, that does not mean that you don't play the game. That how can I defeat my friend and how can I lose my friend? So it is very difficult for me to play. You are in another team, you have to play for your team. So we have to do our duty. And then the next lesson is the ability to tolerate provocative situation is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of greatness. A person who learned to tolerate and perform his duty in all the difficult situations, he is a great personality. Actually, the great personality are great because of this. A person who is disturbed by every small and big thing in the life and goes into depression and do not do his duty and make so many excuses and make so many things, that person is not considered as a great personality. Great personalities are those who know how to deal with the situation, and without being affected, they perform their duty. So that's the sign of a great people, not by the weakness of the heart. Yes, now text 15 we are doing. So if you learn to tolerate, Krishna says, why should I tolerate? Why you are wanting me to tolerate? I don't want to tolerate anything. Now Krishna gives another thing, why you should tolerate. And then he says, Yam hina vyathiyante te purusham purushashabha samad dukha sukham dhiram so amratvaya kalpate. He said, yamhi na vyathiyante te purusham purusha shabha. Who Arjuna? A person who is not vyathi. Vyathit matlab not dukhi, not disturbed. When and he is sama sukha dukham dhiram. He is equal. He has an equanimity. He is equal in both, in the happiness or in distress. So what is that person who is not disturbed by any changes happen in our life, or he is equal in happiness also? He is not overjoyed, and distress also he is not in over grief. What will happen to that person? Can you understand what Krishna is trying to give us? If we become like that, Krishna says he is certainly eligible for liberation. So by being good, we can get the liberation from birth, death, old age, and disease. Krishna says, so amratvaya kalpate. That person attains me. He is eligible for liberation. So Krishna is not asking us to do just like that. Krishna says, if you behave like this, because that change is going to happen. People are going to die in the, it is not that people are going to permanent. And if you do not, so you should learn to tolerate. And if you learn to tolerate, it is not about dying only, it is about any difficult situation in our life. And if you learn to tolerate those situations, then you become eligible to come back to. So beautiful. Following one's dharma leads to jnana, from which arises mukti or liberation. So when we follow our duty very, very sincerely, we become eligible to acquire the knowledge. Knowledge about what? Not material. When we are talking about the knowledge, we are not talking about here the I am graduate, I am PhD, I am a doctor, I am an engineer. We are not talking about those knowledge here at all. We are talking of the knowledge about the body and soul. Prabhupada says, what is knowledge? Knowledge means knowing the difference between the body and soul. This is knowledge. This is a permanent knowledge. And this is required by everyone. Who is the body, what is body, what is soul, and what is the difference, and who is Krishna and what is my relation with Krishna, that is called knowledge. So here Krishna says, if you are performing your duty very sincerely without being disturbed, you become eligible to acquire those knowledge. Automatically those knowledge is really revealed to you, and that through that knowledge you can attain liberation. Okay. Now sorry, somebody should remind me about the time if it is over. The text 16, seer of the truth. So now again he talks about, he gives some more knowledge about the soul now. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhyorapi drishto antas, tva anyos tattva darshibhi. So now he says, na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah. Those who are the seer of the truth have concluded that of the non-existing, the material body, there is no endurance. Those who knows the absolute truth, those who are in knowledge, those who know the scripture, those who know you, those who know me, they have declared it. Here he is talking about the person of a great personalities who has attained the self-realization. So they have concluded. What they have concluded? That non-existence, the material body, there is no endurance. You cannot protect it. However you make effort, but there is no endurance. And of the eternal soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. So those who are Tattvadarshi means those who have realized the truth. Tattva means truth. So those who have realized the truth, they have come to this understanding that material body, there is no endurance. We cannot maintain forever this. And the soul, there is no change. Same soul is there in the, if I leave this body and take the body of an elephant, the soul, the same soul goes there. There's no change. And if the same soul goes in a body of ant, also is the same soul. So actually the soul and super soul are together always. And super soul is accompanying the soul in every body. Whenever the soul changes the body, super soul accompanies the soul. So this is what he says, ki those who have seen, those who are the Tattvadarshi, those who have realized the absolute truth, they have come to this conclusion. They have studied the nature of both. It is not just simply they are saying. They have studied the nature of both and they have concluded. Like you do the research and come to the conclusion. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam also have some conclusion. So what conclusion? The body, there is no endurance. Sometimes the science is trying to give a permanent body to us. At some time it will come, their body will not degenerate or decay or destroy. You will not have old age. So many types of creams are coming, so many types of vitamins are coming. You keep and you will be healthy. But you cannot overcome all these things, the old age, birth, death and disease. And soul, there is no change. So what is the use of worrying? How much ever you try to protect the body, there has to be a change in the body. And soul is anyway eternal. To whom you are thinking that killing? So there is a difference between the body and soul. Body is made up of matter. Matter is always temporary. Soul is made up of spirit. There is no consciousness in the body. There is a consciousness in soul is conscious. Body, there is a changes. Soul, there is no changes. Body is temporary. Soul is eternal. Body is dead and soul is alive. So these are the difference between the body and soul. Now tell me who you are. Are you the soul or the body? Write in the chat box. Don't unmute yourself. Just write in the chat box. Or what you want to be. You want to be a body or you want to be the soul? You want to be having the eternal life there when there is no change, or we are always conscious, we are spirit alive all the time, or we want to be a dead body? Write in the chat.
Mataji,
Yeah.
see, there are two questions. Maybe you can clarify this. One is karma comes from past life or present life. And the same Mataji has asked, so soul doesn't change ever. It's a body which takes the good and bad karma. So there is a kind of first question is,
Yeah.
the karma is from our present life or past life?
Both.
Both.
More from the past, less from the present, but there is both karma. So karma is like a seed. Okay. So if I'm taking question, then we have to stop the class here. I don't know time because I don't have watch here with me. What is the time?
No, Mataji, maybe after this you can explain that for the soul.
I'll take the question last. Let me do 2-3 more shlokas, then I'll take the question. Okay. So avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasham avyasya na kaschit kartum arhati. Soul is indestructible. So Krishna spoke about the body is destructible, body is temporary. There are changes in the body. We show you the picture in the previous slide that the body takes birth, then there's it grows, and then it reproduces, then it dwindles and dies. So there is a change in the body, and this is for every. And then again the soul leaves from this person and goes to the next body. So this is a cycle of the body which is always destructible. There is no change for anybody. That is the reason knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita is for each and every human being. Because animal body, we cannot understand Bhagavad Gita, right? So at least we have to be human to understand. So this is for whether I have born in the America or China or Russia or France or Japan or Germany or India or village or city. This is true for all of us. So this knowledge is true for everyone. So the body, now Krishna says that, but the soul is indestructible. Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam. Vinasham avyasyasya na kaschit kartum arhati. That which pervade, avinashi. That he says the nature of the soul is avinashi. Avinashi means indestructible. So that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So soul cannot be destroyed. Why cannot be soul destroyed? We will see further. So he says that the body is temporary. It will be destroyed. In the last shloka I said, the soul is indestructible. There is not going to be any change in the soul. Now he says, what is soul? Balagra shatabhagasya shatadha kalpatasya cha bhago jiva savigyena sa chantataya kalpate. When the upper point of the hair is divided, this is from Shweta Upanishad. When the upper point of the hair is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such part is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. The 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. Yesterday I told you, today we have got the shloka also from Shweta Upanishad. This is mentioned over there. The size of the soul is there. And where does the soul live? It is in the region of the heart. And here it says, in the Mundaka Upanishad, I'll just read the translation. The soul is atomic in size and can be perceived by a perfect intelligence. This atomic soul is floating in the 5 kinds of air, prana, apana, vyana, samana, and udana, is situated within the heart and spreads its influence all over the body of the embodied living entities. When the soul is purified from the contamination of 5 kinds of material air, its spiritual influence is exhibited. So, we can see all these things even medical science would have known very recent. But our scripture, which is 5,000 years ago, is already been described there. Very precisely, it says, is in the region of the heart, in the 5 air, which is there, the soul is floating into the 5 air, into the region of the heart. Very, very clear. Our Vedic scriptures are 12 to 15 times more accurate and clear than the modern science. Actually, but unfortunately we are not opening and reading it. So very clearly it is precisely mentioned here, it spreads in the and its influence, even though it's very minute particle, but her influence of the soul is there all over the body, and which is called as a consciousness. How do we know that we are having soul in the body? It is with the consciousness, because if a dead body is there, there is no consciousness. Whether you pinch or kill or you put it into the fire, nothing happens. And if the soul is there, even a small needle the doctor keeps us, and we feel pain. So that consciousness is all because of the soul. And that is what this shloka teaches us. Antavanta ime deha nityayuktasya sharirina anashino apremasya tasmad yuddhasva bharata. So again, Krishna is saying, Antavanta ime deha. Deha is going to be ended, is perishable. Nityayuktasya sharirina. An embodied soul is nityayuktas. It is eternal. It is always there, permanent. Anashino apremyasya. The soul is indestructible and immeasurable. Therefore, tasmad yuddhasva bharata. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. So Arjuna was giving the reason, I don't want to kill these people. And Krishna said, you cannot protect their body. And as a soul, you are not killing them also. The materialist body is going to be perished. However, you try to protect it. And soul, which they are, it is indestructible. You cannot kill the soul. So therefore, you get up and do the fight. Then he says, the soul does not kill or get killed. Ya enam veti hantaram, ya chainam manyate hatam, ubhautau na vijanito, nayam hanti na hanyate. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it is slain is in knowledge. For the self slays nor is slain. The one who thinks that I am going to kill is also not in knowledge, because you cannot kill the soul. You cannot kill that person. You can only kill the body. That's the reason in the spiritual language, people say, it's a very nice answer actually. Initially, when we heard, and we used to smile to hear this. If you ask, how old are you, Prabhuji? He said, I am an eternal soul. In this body, I am living for 32 years. Nice answer, na? I am eternal soul. But in this body, I am living for 32 years. So that's what he's saying. Anybody who thinks that he can kill is also not in knowledge. And in anything, if it is killed, is also not. Because soul cannot be killed. Nobody can kill the soul. So he said he is not in knowledge. Soul is located at the region of the heart along with the Paramatma. The size of soul is this tip of the hair. Listen, what is killed is only the material body. Soul is neither killer nor is the object of killing. Then this is a very nice shloka. Maybe we'll stop it here today. Soul never dies. And this is actually, these are the shloka people generally remember, even though they don't have much knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Few shloka of Bhagavad Gita is very, very popular. न जायते म्रेते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूव अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे न जायते म्रेते वा कदाचिन्. Jayate means janma, birth. Mrete means death. So there is no janma or death for the soul at any time. Kadachin, not in any time. Neither soul takes birth nor the soul dies. What takes birth and dies is the body only. Nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuva. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. So like past, present, and future, there is no time that soul takes birth or soul dies. Soul is always there. Ajo nitya shashvato. He is unborn. Ajo means unborn. Nitya means eternal. Shashvato, ever existing. Yam Purano and primeval. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. This is the quality of the soul. He is not killed when the body is. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. He is not killed when the body is killed. So what is the quality of the soul? There is no birth for the soul. There is no death for the soul. Soul is always the same particle. Soul has come into this material world, and till the time it goes back to the spiritual world from where the soul has come from, it just transmigrates from one body to another. Sometime in the bird body, sometime in the beast body, sometime in the plant body, sometime in the ant body, sometime in the lizard body. Different body we are changing. So we cannot kill the soul. There's no birth, there's no death for the soul. It is eternal, primeval, unborn, and ever existing. So the body undergoes 6 changes, namely the birth, existence, growth, producing, byproduct, dwindling, and death. The body takes birth, then it exists for some time, then it grows, and then it reproduces, and then it dwindles, body dwindles, and then dies. And then soul leaves. The soul is there in the same body from here to here, here to here. And then the die, soul gets another body now. This is the cycle of the soul. So body is only changing, soul is not. It is primeval, it is eternal, it is ever existing. Nothing can kill the soul. Yeah. So we will stop it here because probably this is enough for you today. Now I'll take some questions.
Mataji, so the question is 1 minute. I'll open. So the karma comes mostly from the past and some from the present. Okay.
Yeah.
So since the soul cannot change, it means the karma is only for the body. Soul doesn't change ever. It's the body which takes the good and bad karma.
Yes. Yeah. We experience the karma through the body only, right? Your body enjoys or body suffers. So our result of the karma is the different type of body. And in the body also different type of reaction, different type of situation in the body. It's all result of the karma. And to suffer and enjoy, we have been given the body. When our karma gets completely over, we will go back home, back to Godhead. We are in this material world and to enjoy or suffer, to encash our karma, So karma is all for the body. Yes.
Yeah, Mataji, I have one question, 2 questions. One of things, see, this data which you show now, the size of the soul, it is from what you told now. It came from where, ma'am? Oh, Mataji.
Shweta Upanishad.
So the size of soul.
And Mundaka Upanishad. So there are 108 Upanishad. So there is one Shweta, one is Mundaka Upanishad. So this data is from there.
So Mundaka Upanishad is wrote by means our long back.
All Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva has written the 4 Vedas, the 18 Puranas, then Mahabharat, then all the Upanishads,
Mhm.
all this thing is all given by Vyasadeva.
Okay. And one more question, Mataji. Suppose if we kill some species by known or unknown things like cockroach or something, so this is going to account in our karma. We suppose these things.
Yes, Prabhu. Law of karma is there. Yes.
So we should not
Everything.
kill cockroach and other things, means, right?
Prabhupada said that you keep your house clean, said that there is no cockroach. So there are two answers to this. Of course, even if you see, karma of the killing is involved from the lower to the higher species. So lower species mein karmas are less. Like in the science also, you see that when the very small insects are there, there's no nervous system, there's no blood. Then there is a blood. Then slowly the system becomes more strong. Pain is more. They have more pain to them, right? So
Yeah.
if we are killing the ant or insects or mosquito or the cockroach, probably there is a pain. Of course, there is a pain, but maybe the pain is less. So less pain you are giving to some entity, you will get the less. But the more you give the pain, like if you kill like a higher evolved animal, like a goat or like as you grow, so then there is more reaction of it. But at no point of the time we should kill any. We have no right to, because we have no right to create any living entity. We have no right to kill anyone. And sometimes people think, I don't kill, but I eat because I am not killing. So that also we are part of it. If we are consuming them, also we are part. So, and the house, sometimes it happens ki, of course, there is a too much mosquito in some houses or too much cockroaches are there. We need to do the pest control to kill them at one time, at some point of the time. So, so that is another answer is that keep your house Krishna as a center, and then you think that it is Krishna's house. I'm making food, and cockroach might go in my food, and which is I'm going to offer to Krishna, and this is my cockroach might go onto the altar of my Krishna, and then it may it is not nice. So when we keep Krishna in the center and for the pleasure of Krishna, we try to clean these things, less karma is there.
Okay, Mataji.
But karma is
Mataji,
there. Karma is slowly there. Definitely there. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Mataji, I have a question. You said soul goes to another body. So it goes to the same family, or generally we say if you do good, it goes to heaven. If you do bad, it goes to hell. So where this soul goes?
Very nice question. Very detailed question, actually. The soul's journey depends on, in the Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, we will read, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejati anta kalevaram tam tam aiveti kaunteye sada tad bhava bhavitah. Krishna talks in the 8th chapter about how we get the another body. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavan. In this whichever consciousness, whatever we remember at the time of death, and however we have performed our karma in this life, accordingly the soul has been given to the another body. So it depends on my consciousness, it depends on my karma. It is never possible that soul may get the same family, or even if a human body, getting a human body also, if my behavior is not like a human, I may go again degrade into the animal species. I may become a cockroach, I may become a lizard, I may become a cow, I may become a demigod. So according to my karma, I get a body.
Mataji,
Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji, namaste. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you said previous life karma and karma in the present birth will have its effect, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, is it necessarily previous life karma gets exhausted this life, or it's God's wish? It can come in any life, part by part also.
Yeah. So this is again a very nice question. See, the karma theory is like, as I was telling in between, I stopped. Karma is like a seed. So if you have a seasonal flower seed, you throw the seed and you get the flower within a week time or 10 days, you'll start seeing the flower, right? Some seeds are there like a mango or tamarind and all. You put the seed and the flower and the fruit will come after 5 years or 10 years. Or sometimes some takes even more time. It will take more time to come, right? So our karma is also like that. Some karmas are there that instant result are there in this life also, in this time also. You hit somebody, like slapped, and he also slapped back to you. Got your karma back immediately. Sometime a person you have slapped him, he remembers it. And after some 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, he will waiting for some opportunity, and he'll give you a big bang after some time. And sometime we get afterlife. So we have too much accumulation of karma. Every action we are doing, we are creating karma, which is called sanchit karma. So we have too much karma in our bag, but we cannot take all the karma. If all the karma is given to me in one life, we cannot bear. So Krishna takes out every life. When we get a body, Krishna gives some part of it as a prarabdha, and rest is still sanchit karma. So some of the karma I am getting the result in this life. Some of the karma I am getting the result maybe after 5 lives, maybe after 10 lives. So Krishna will keep giving. Like another simple example is ki you have a bank account, right? So you have deposited some money, but you cannot take out every money. You have to leave some balance in the thing. So whatever is in your account is sanchit karma. If you have a 2 lakh rupees in your account, you are not carrying 2 lakh rupees always in your pocket. You will have 20,000 rupees in your pocket, right? So 2 lakh is your samchit karma in your account, 20,000 is your prarabdha which you are carrying in your pocket, which you can use immediately. And when it finishes, then again sanchit will come as a prarabdha.
Mataji, I have one doubt now. When we grow up, we don't know much about this karma and all. I think I got some idea of it maybe after I crossed my 50th birthday. Okay. Now, God has designed us in such a way, this is what I've read in some scripture, that there is a shield. You do not know about your past births. Soon after you're born, that shield, kavach covers everything like.
Yes.
So now, by the time I get to realize, I've already committed so many karmas, so many actions for which I have to pay back. Correct? So once I cross, let's say, that level and I come to a realization, yes, there is something called karma. How do I start nullifying all the previous karma I've done? Is reading scriptures the only way, or is there anything else?
I will tell you, Prabhu, this is again a very good question you have asked. So that is the flaw in our system, that we are telling a person about the karma when he's 50-year-old. So this is a flaw. We should tell these things from the very beginning. Prahlad Maharaj told that we should learn all this from the childhood, so that we know, when I'm performing any action, if we know that this is the consequences of my action, then I'll be more careful in doing things, right? So this has not been given to us. This is a flaw in our system. But now, so as you said, we all are in that position that we were not knowing about anything. We have done so many things knowingly, unknowingly. We have created so many karma. So this answer also, Bhagavatam mein it is given, Kechit kevalya bhaktiya Vasudeva parayana agham gunvanti karsnena nirharam eva bhaskara. So this question was asked by the Parishit Maharaj to Shukdev Goswami. So there are 2 ways to reduce the karma. One is doing the prayashchit. We have to go and do the prayashchit. So there is a different karma has a different level of prayashchit. So karma kanda vidhi mein they tell us this you have done this mistake. For this you have to do this prayashchit. You have done this mistake. You have to do this prayashchit, which is also not a very easy method to do in this age of Kali Yuga. So prayashchit is one thing. Second thing is we have to see all this is done by the Lord only. So we have to come to the Lord and pray to him. I have done this knowingly and unknowingly. I do not know anything, but now I want to be careful. From today onwards, I want to be very careful. And I know the effect of my karma. I know the result of my karma. I want to overcome all those things and not to create more karma. Please excuse me. And take the name of the Lord. Then slowly all the karma gets. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhaja. It says the karma can be burned only by performing the devotional service. So there is a various example that, like I told the previous shloka, Kechit kevalya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agham gunvanti karsnena niraham hiva bhaskara. I said The karmas are like when you perform the devotional service to the Supreme Lord, then your karma is like burnt in the way, like in the winter, if you have winter season, you say sometime fog in the morning. There's a droplets of water onto the plants and your garden and everything. But as soon as the sun comes, within 5 minutes, it all gets disappeared completely. It gets dried up. Then you can't see even the trace of that water there. You do not even know where there was a water here. Till the time sun is not there, you see the water. As soon as the sun comes, all the water has gone. So similarly, while performing the devotional service, chanting the holy name of the Lord is very effective method in this age of Kali Yuga. It burns all the karma. So we can burn the karma by chanting the name of the Lord.
Thank you, Mataji.
Ma'am,
Does that
now,
answer your question?
Mataji, 5 kinds of air. They have asked one question in the chat box. Explain the 5.
You can write from there in the chat box.
No, I
That's
will
a
write.
5 kind of air. That's a 5 kind of air that nothing much to explain over there. You can write from the chat box.
Arjun
I
is
will.
going to kill so many people now. So what do you think, the Arjun will also get the karma?
No.
He is already a Mahatma.
No,
But
not because that. Yes. Complete your question.
Yeah. So because Arjun is going to kill so many people. Okay. On relations or the Krishna's army. Okay. Does he going to get the reaction of this karma for that? Or it's a dharma yudh?
No, Arjun is not going to get reaction because Arjun is a soldier and he was doing as a dharma yuddha. So he was not killing people for himself. So the same Duryodhana is going to get the reaction probably because Duryodhana is wanting to enjoy the kingdom for himself. But Arjuna was not doing that. So Arjuna will not. So even the soldiers, those who are in our army, the soldiers they are, when they go and kill so many people in the opposite side and the enemies, they get medal. But the same person, if he comes and in his village, if he kills one person, he will be like a fined or he'll be given a jail. Because
No.
there he is representing the country and doing for the country.
That's
Here
okay,
he is
but
coming.
he's going to kill the Krishna's army also, people. They are
Does not
innocent,
matter.
not done anything.
No, does not matter. All of them, they have decided to come into the war. Nobody has invited. All of these people, they decided to come and fight with war. Some from Arjun's side, some from the Pandava's side. That is the reason when the battle used to begin, it was always announced that Abhi, still there is a time. If you want to leave the battle and go
Leave.
back, to go.
Yes. Yeah.
So they are fighting for their own, like they have decided to fight for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna
हरे
Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी
Yes.
क्या ये ओके माता जी
Yes, Bharti.
माता जी क्या चैंटिंग से हम लोग प्रारब्ध वो संचित कर्म भी बदले जा सकते हैं क्या
संचित कर्म, यही तो मैं बता रही, कर्माणि निर्दहति किंतु च भक्ति भाजा. यस, संचित कर्म भी चैंटिंग से जल जाते हैं. That is the only method. That is the only method in entire thing that it burns your karma. Present, past, sanchit, prarabdha, everything gets burned by the chanting the holy name of the Lord is very potent and powerful. Lord has invested all his energy in the holy name. Namna makari bahuda nija sarva shakti. He said, I have given all my potency in the holy name. What I cannot do, also my holy name can do. So holy name is very potent and powerful. So if we chant the holy name of the Lord, definitely it burns the karma.
ओके
Yes,
थैंक यू
Mataji, I have 2 questions. One, I would request you to just recap the whole chapter before we close. And second, what I wanted to ask you is that sometimes, as you just mentioned, if somebody you have killed unknowingly or something, then do the karma still comes on you, which was not your intent? Because some people say that, like cockroach, as we were saying, that he was destined to be killed by you in your hand or something like that, to free him or something. So what is your take on that?
No. It is not like that. It is not. It might be destined to kill by your hand, but at the same time, you are creating karma for yourself also. Maybe the cockroach was destined to be killed. Also, he also has a karma to burn. Animal body, actually, there is no karma, but there is maybe he is destined, but We are also creating the karma for ourselves by killing the cockroach or any living entity. As I said, lower to higher, this thing is there. So even at least if you are killing the cockroach, chant the mantra. Because if you're chanting the mantra and killing, at least they get some benefit of hearing the holy name. So at least this
If
is
it is
only for the
unknowingly, if it is unknowing, then
unknowingly, see, these are less karma, but there is definitely some karma. That's the reason devotees are all, we have to be very careful, like not killing any living entity, unnecessary.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah,
Mataji, 1 minute. Whoever has asked the question about the 5 kinds of air, I have put the answer in the chat box, so you can just read. Yes, it's Prabhu.
Yeah. Mataji, from the story of parrot and the cage, we tend to remain focused on the cage and neglect the parrot, and ultimately paradise. So my question is that parrot represents the soul. How to, what are the steps to be taken or practices to be adopted to nurture the soul consistently?
Again, very good question, Prabhu. Very, very nice question. This is actually the best question of the day today. This is key, how to nurture the soul, because we are habituated to nurture the body. So see, body belongs to this world. We have understood till now. This is clear. So everything what we do in the worldly things to make this body comfortable and happy, or people related, they are also our extended family, extended person of my family, my children. So they belong to this material world. So we try to give them material comfort to make them happy, right? But soul does not belong to this material world. Soul is that is why it is called spirit, right? The word spirit comes from spiritual. Spiritual is a word, and from there comes spirit. So we have to give some spiritual connection to the soul, which makes the soul happy. So the spiritual connection to the soul is to give him the holy name, to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, talk about the Supreme Lord, hear about the Supreme Lord, chant the name of the Lord, eat Krishna Prasad, which has been offered to the Lord. So anything which we do as a spiritual activity, which is spiritual means it is connected to the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
When we do any activity which is connected to the Supreme Lord, makes the soul happy. When we think Supreme Lord also, day before or like maybe last class we had done that 6 opulence of Krishna is there and all incomplete, and Krishna, that's why he's called Bhagwan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So anything which we do related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether hearing, whether chanting, whether talking, whether seeing, whether like eating his remnants, all this is spiritual activities which makes the soul happy.
Right.
So when we try to engage the senses, our activity in our satisfaction, then it becomes material. When we try to connect our all activity, so we cannot, as a living entity, we are living in the material world. So all the time we are exposed to the material things only. So what we need to do as an intelligent person, make these material things spiritual around us. You cannot change. You cannot change. We cannot change anything. We have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to hear, we have to see. This is a nature, right? So if you want to hear something, try to hear as much as about Krishna, rather than mundane thing. If you want to see something, have nice this thing. If you speak something, speak about the Lord. So your day-to-day duty, you have to do work in a material platform, that is fine. Rest of the time, at least get it spiritualized.
Right. My last question very quickly. Today we have learned that 2 emotions, pleasure and pain, we have to be equal, rather we have to be neutral. This can be practiced. This cannot happen at once, because both the emotions will tend to disturb you. But I think the practice is required. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, learn to tolerate. Krishna says, learn to tolerate it.
Right.
You practice it, tolerate, practice. And then only you can become happy. And then you will be eligible to come to me also. A person who is non-reactive. Yes. See, actually the scriptures elevates our consciousness, makes us a better human being.
Right.
Material influences makes us very aggressive.
Very, very true.
That is the material influence. You do this, you have done this. Like too much aggression is there in the material energy, which is in Rajoguna. But
Correct.
spiritual life makes us very calm, very mature, elevated in consciousness, think and do things. So that is the difference. And that
Correct.
makes life better.
That's true. Right. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, one question. A child suffering with disease or expired is a karma of the child or parent?
Both. Child has been given only in this life this much time to spend. And parents are also suffering because we have lost the child. So there is a suffering for the parent also. So we have done some karma maybe, and that is the reason we have got this reaction. So it is both. See, sometimes things happen in a, like if a girl is raped or somebody is murdered. Of course, there is a reaction of their karma which has happened. But in a society we are living, we cannot see, okay, this is your karma, you have been given, you have done this, so that is why you are getting all these things. We have to see this time they had not done anything. So at least give them the moral support, give them the genuinely help them try to overcome their fear, because it's a sad thing. So we should help them. But overall, ultimately, it is definitely our karma. But till the time we do not come to the understanding that this is my karma and this is why it has happened, and it is very hard. And definitely, even if we understand, there is a pain of all this disturbance in our life. So we should help them to overcome this very nicely.
Mataji, accidents which happen, let's say there's an accident which has happened and I have got injured. This has happened because of a past karma. How do I know in this birth what is happening because of the past karma or this karma?
Because
or I'm creating new karma.
Because you were not driving carefully.
It's a very nice answer.
No, of course, anything happens, we are reaping the result of our karma. But that does not mean that we do not be careful in this life. We have to be careful for this life. We have to do very intelligently thing in this life also. Not that we depend on, okay, my karma, whatever it comes, whatever has to happen will happen. We have to be very responsible in doing our things, their activities. And sometimes immediately looks like it is our negligence. It is our, maybe we did not do the act properly. That is the immediate result, like we see that. But yes, of course, whatever happens, there is some amount of karma is going on. Karma is very, very intricate.
So I don't know whether it's past karma or whether I'm creating new karma. Any action
you
of
do
mine.
not know, Prabhu. Gahana karmano gati. Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, we will see more about karma. Actually, this chapter is only about more soul. That we do not know which karma is giving what result.
Okay.
It's a very twined. Like it is said that if you take the 2 ropes and you tie the 2 ropes and then the 2 end again you take and tie. So after tying many times, you do not know what was the first rope. So it is very difficult to take out there from the first rope. So it is very difficult to know which karma gave the what. But karma is reaction, and we are getting the reaction of our activities in different forms. And we can overcome. This is the conclusion of today's this thing. We can overcome only by practicing the devotional service, especially chanting, hearing, connecting ourselves to the Supreme Lord.
So
Because
in short, you're saying, Mataji, only surrender to the Lord helps.
Yes, because he is the in charge, na. Like you understand, if you have taken a loan from the bank, right, and you have taken 2 lakh rupees loan, now you are a defaulter. You are not a defaulter. I am a defaulter. Like I took loan, I am a defaulter now. So if I am a defaulter, then I have no money to pay. What do? I go to the bank manager. I pray to bank manager. See, I have nothing now. Please reduce my loan because I cannot pay because I have lost everything. I don't have anything. So it's a mercy of the bank manager. He will put your application to the seniors and check. You are genuinely genuine and you have no money to pay. So they reduce it to half or maybe 1/10. Right? It is in their hand. If they want, they can do it. So they will see your genuineness first. Like everybody will come and say, okay, remove my karma, remove my. They will not do. They will go and inquiry about you. They will try to know that what kind of person is, how it happened. If they find your case genuine, they will reduce. So similarly, if Krishna finds us all very genuine, genuinely we are trying to improve, genuinely we are trying to be good, genuinely we are very we are thinking that we made mistake and we want to overcome it, then Krishna will reduce. All that is created by him, given by him, so he might reduce.
So Mataji, I like this bank defaulter, what you said. Let's say a person has committed a crime, murdered someone. He goes to prison. There's a judiciary, there's a law. He goes to prison in this life. Is his karma over or it's not over?
Not over. His karma is over here. But he has something to suffer there up also.
So
And
when
that,
he's
even if he's a murderer and he has done genuine, but you see, if he goes to jail and there is a reformation, if he reformed himself properly and he behaves very nicely and he overcome all his problems, so maybe when he was given a imprisonment for 20 years, they will say, okay, after 15 years, we reduced your this thing. Now you're a good person. You will not harm the society. So we release you. So this is one answer to this. Second answer, what you're asking is ki karma. So some portion of the karma result he gets it here, but some is still remaining, which he'll get it up also as a swarga or narka.
So he will not be reborn with that particular karma, you're saying?
He will. No. Prabhu, all this is a big topic. So some karma we burn in this life by getting punishment. Some karma,
right.
still that some portion of this karma, we go and suffer in the hellish planet. Again, we come with some karma, which we have to again burn here. Because if there is no karma, we will not come back. So if the karma, you said the 10 number you give to karma. So 2 to 3% you burn here, 2 to 3% you burn in hellish planet, then 2 to 3% again in the next life. That is how it continues. All our karma gets continuation.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So this is a karma theory is, of course, no one intentionally create bad karma. No, people do create bad karma. Is it not unfair? No, people create and see why. If you are living in a world, you should know that what is right, what is wrong. We have come into this material world. We should be aware of what is right, what is wrong. We cannot make our child say, I think this is right. We have no this thing to make, maybe right from your angle, but it is wrong. If the scripture says it is wrong, if the authority says it is wrong, it is wrong. So when we have come into the material world, we should try to know what is right, what is wrong, actually, and then work accordingly. So then we will be careful. People are creating their own mesh. I think this is right. I am not harming anybody. I think this is good. Even a person who goes and do the stealing, he thinks I'm right. I have no money. I also have a right to enjoy. Why should I go to steal? He has a reason for doing it. Does it make that the stealing is good? So there is a proper right and wrong is been given. So if we follow that, then we can claim that this is right, this is wrong, we are doing.
So Mataji, I have one question. Mataji, I have one question. So sometimes when we make mistakes, we know we are making a mistake, right? I mean, I guess we learned it's conscience, but is that actually the soul or the subtle body, the conscience, which telling us that you should not do it, it's a mistake?
Yeah, conscious is, see, Krishna is sitting in your heart as a Paramatma. Okay. Krishna gives the intelligence. If you are conscious of Krishna, you will understand there is a mistake I'm going to do. If you're not conscious of Krishna, you will ignore that. If you are conscious, Lord is guiding. Yeah, so there is some consciousness in us.
Yeah, because even before we realize Krishna even when we are young. We always, when we commit a mistake, we know
So
we are
some
going to
kind
make.
of, yeah, some kind of that voice is there.
Okay.
So you are able to hear that voice that yes, it is wrong.
I
Thank
think
you.
Prabhu is asking from where that voice is coming. Who is giving that intuition?
Paramatma.
Okay.
Paramatma sitting in the heart gives that voice.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mataji, 1 minute. Hare Krishna. So we have our Bhagavad Gita session every Tuesday as requested by you. From since we are posting it late, it is 8:30, but generally it will be from 8 to 8:30. So we are going sloka by sloka. So please take advantage of that. The Mataji who teaches, it's like she's expert in reciting the slokas. So please take advantage of that. Every Tuesday, it will be from 8 to 8:30. I will